Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Today is Monday, September 16, 2019. I'm Luis Chavez.
And I'm Mayette Lloyd.
And we begin with our top national headlines. A fatal explosion in Farmington, Maine earlier today claimed the life of a firefighter and injured 6 others. The fire department responded to a report of a gas leak when the building exploded. Among those injured were 4 firefighters, an employee, and a North Star ambulance employee. The building was home to a nonprofit organization that provides services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The explosion appeared to be accidental.
General Motors United Auto Workers voted to strike after failed negotiations on Sunday. Approximately 49,000 workers are staging a walkout after General Motors closed production plants. General Motors made an offer Saturday to invest more than $7 billion into existing plants and create more than 5,000 new jobs in an attempt to stop workers from going on strike. The strike will shut down 53 auto plants across 9 states until union reps and company officials can come to an agreement. Union reps have pushed for new products to be assembled at 4 auto plants that were scheduled to close, as well as higher pay rates for the workers.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced a statewide ban on flavored e-cigarettes. Earlier this year, Cuomo signed legislation to raise the statewide smoking age to 21. Vaping has been under the spotlight as many people have suffered from breathing illnesses. The FDA has been able to ban vaping since 2016, but hasn't taken action yet. If the New York Public Health and Health Planning Council vote in favor of this, the ban could be enforced in 2 weeks.
Couples in the state of Virginia no longer have to state their race in order to receive a marriage certificate. The Attorney General of Virginia, Mark Herring, issued the news legal guidance on Friday after a lawsuit was filed by 3 couples that stated the law was, quote, unconstitutional and reflective of a racist past. While the law isn't removed altogether, couples who apply for a marriage license now have the choice to opt out of the question that asks them to state their race. The couples involved in the lawsuit are Brandon Churchill and Sophie Rogers, Ashley Ramkissoon and Samuel Sarfo, and Amelia Spencer and Kendall Poole. The couple's lawyer said the guidance should continue until the law is ruled unconstitutional. There are 7 other states with a legal requirement to identify your race before marriage.
Tropical storm Humberto formed into a 3rd hurricane late Sunday night. The hurricane is set to move away from the Bahamas in the U.S. According to the National Hurricane Center, the hurricane was about 200 miles east of Cape Canaveral, Florida on Sunday night. Humberto is expected to cause swells that will affect the northwestern Bahamas and the U.S. coast from east central Florida to North Carolina during the next few days. The Bahamas and Florida were spared of most of the brunt of Hurricane Humberto. However, officials warn that it could still cause life-threatening surf and rip conditions as it moves northeast. Coming up next, we'll take a look into leading local headlines.
And later, we have the latest political news. Stay with us.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea. Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. Vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Joliet police are searching for a man who shot a teen in the calf this past weekend. Around 2 p.m., a gunman shot the 16-year-old during the Mexican Independence Parade in the area of Collins Street and Cleveland Avenue. The boy sustained a non-life-threatening injury, and police are still investigating. Anyone with any information should contact the Joliet Investigation Unit.
Soldier Field was packed yesterday morning with thousands of supporters for the annual ALS walk. Many locals with stories of their own losses attended this awareness walk to raise money for research to find a cure for people living with ALS. The pivotal highlight of this walk was for locals to highlight the loss, to fight ALS and supporting one another.
The new monument and statue of Saint John Baptiste de La Salle, known as the Encounter, will be firmly dedicated tomorrow at 3 p.m. Benefactors Jay and Lori Bergman made this possible through their generous support. On Wednesday, members of the Encounter Project team, including artist Alex Smith, will join a panel to discuss the meaning behind the new monument. The process of conceptualizing and casting this one-of-a-kind sculpture. The event will be held 3 to 4 p.m. in the Darcy Great Room. Arts and Ideas credit is also available.
Lewis University once again ranked in the top 20 universities in the Midwest. Lewis was acknowledged for high peer assessments, graduation rates, and successful job placements. Lewis also earned recognition in college diversity and best colleges for veterans. Lewis University was also granted the honor by being included in a new feature this year for the 2020 Top Performers on Social Mobility.
Artwork by contemporary artist Susan Frankel, as well as the Lewis University Student Senior Capstone Art Exhibition, will be on display at the Brent and John Wadsworth Family Gallery, located on Lewis University's main Romeoville campus. This free exhibit is available to the public from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The Lewis University Department of Art and Design will present the Senior Capstone Exhibition and reception in the gallery December 5th at 7 p.m. This biannual art show coincides with the Capstone Course Senior Project. Artwork from this project will be on display December 5th to the 16th. When we return, we have your day's top political headlines.
And later, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay.
Got it.
No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
The third Democratic presidential debate was on Thursday. 10 candidates took the stage in Houston. Highlights from the debate include Julian Castro's attack on former Vice President Joe Biden's age, Texas native and former Representative Beto O'Rourke's comments on gun control, and Kamala Harris's focus on President Donald Trump. Harris's opening statement was directly addressed to the president. The candidates debated on their differing views on how to achieve universal health care. Other topics addressed at the debate include immigration, education, and racism. Joe Biden publicly committed to release his medical records before the Iowa caucuses after fielding questions about whether at 76 years old, the Democratic frontrunner is fit to be president. Biden made the announcement in Houston on Friday after a reporter asked him to address the concerns about his age. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren also have plans to release their medical records at some point in the near future. If Biden were to win the presidential election, he would be sworn in when he is 78 years old, which makes him the oldest president in American history at the start of his first term. President Donald Trump jumped to Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's defense after new sexual assault allegations. The president urged Kavanaugh to sue for libel after the New York Times published an excerpt from a new book about Kavanaugh's sexual misconduct, confirming they have two sources about a new allegation from a former Yale student, the source said. A letter to the FBI with the information was never investigated before the nomination. Last year, Kavanaugh denied allegations against him for sexually assaulting 3 women. Many Democratic presidential candidates responded to the new information. Some of them even called for Kavanaugh's impeachment.
Kavanaugh's been having a very interesting year with all these allegations. What do you think these new allegations mean for Justice Kavanaugh now?
So with these new allegations, I think they're going to be more heavily investigated thoroughly. So we have that to look forward to.
Well, hopefully they will investigate these new allegations. Coming up next, we have your full 5-day forecast, and later we'll have a look at sports. Stay tuned.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to LUTN. I'm Illinois. Could someone please? Oh. Right now in Romeoville, Illinois, it is 76 degrees with a humidity of 70% and a 7-mile-per-hour wind to the east. For our local temperatures, around Lake Michigan, looks like we have some cooler temperatures with that lake effect. 68 up in Milwaukee, 68 in Michigan City, and 80 in Madison, 81 in Rockford. As you get more inland, you're getting warmer temperatures. For our national temperature, now a nice cool 77 degrees in Los Angeles, a little warmer in Dallas and Nashville, 95 in Dallas and 96 in Nashville, and a nice 72 in Boston. For our satellite, it looks like we're having some storms coming in the Portland area. Obviously nothing around the Midwest area. So for us in Chicago area, nothing to be worried about. Again, we're getting a little bit of cloud coverage as the day goes on, causing a little partly cloudy, but absolutely no rain in the forecast. For our almanac for today, a high of 77 and a low of 62. Our normal temperatures for today, a high of 75 and a low of 54. Our record temperatures, in 1955 we reached 92 degrees, and in 1984 we were at 37. For our 5-day forecast, those temperatures will continue to rise throughout the week. On Tuesday, and for the rest of the week, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies. Tuesday, a high of 81 and a low of 60. Wednesday, 83 and 61. Thursday, a high of 84 and a low of 64. And Friday, a high of 85 and a low of 68. Remember to keep up with LUTN weather on Facebook and Twitter. Now back to Mayette at the desk.
All right, Carl, thank you so much for that update. Stay tuned for sports next.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to LUTN. This is Matt Mohan, and this is your weekly sports report. Starting with baseball, the Chicago Cubs took a big dent to their playoff hopes this weekend. Anthony Rizzo went down with a right ankle injury in the Sunday afternoon game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cubs' first baseman had to be helped off the field in the third inning of the game after he rolled his ankle while fielding a bunt. Rizzo fielded the ball initially, but then slipped mid-stride, taking a divot off the turf while still attempting to get the ball to first base. X-rays showed after the game that there was no fracture for Rizzo's ankle, but the injury isn't expected to be severe. However, with the Cubs' season ending right around the corner, they hope to finish the season as healthy as possible as they look to get into the playoffs. The 5th-ranked Lewis University women's volleyball team has been off to a hot start this season, going 4-0 at the Nova Southeastern tournament last weekend and winning their first 2 matches on Friday at the Colorado Premier Challenge. The 6-game winning streak came to a halt on Saturday, however, as they suffered a gut-wrenching loss to the 15th-ranked Mustangs of Southwest Minnesota State. Semifinal match featured 36 ties and 9 lead changes. And the first 3 sets were decided by a total of 6 points before the Mustangs finally put away the Flyers in 4 sets to advance to the championship against Concordia St. Paul on Sunday. Flyers had 3 players in double-digit kills, led by Colleen Wilhelm with 14. Ava Venema also contributed heavily in the semifinal match with 9 kills and 7 blocks. Flyers bounced back in the third-place match, sweeping Regis University in straight sets. It was another monstrous performance by Ava Venema that led the way for the Flyers as she totaled 14 kills and 3 blocks. Lewis improves to 7-1 on the young season as they face Holy Family in New Haven in Rockville Center, New York, next Friday evening. The United Center's new scoreboard made its debut on Sunday during the Chicago Blackhawks annual training camp festival scrimmage. With more than 8,600 square feet of screen display, it is giving the most high-definition space of any of the NBA and NHL arenas. The video boards are almost 4 times bigger than the previous scoreboard. The old scoreboard hung from the rafters from 2005 until March of this year. There are 4 screens on the sides and 1 on the bottom for the coaches, players, and fans sitting in the 100 section. Be sure to attend a game this season to catch the scoreboard in action. In briefs, the Chicago Blackhawks start the preseason tonight against the Washington Capitals at 6 p.m. This will provide a good chance for new prospects and rookies of the team to showcase their talent for the new coaching staff. This also will allow the coaching staff to evaluate how they want to play for the upcoming season, which starts October 4th. The NFL star wide receiver Antonio Brown, who made his Patriots debut yesterday, has been accused of sexual assault and forcible rape in a federal lawsuit last Tuesday. Brittany Taylor, Brown's former trainer, alleges that she was assaulted twice by Brown in June of 2017 and then raped in May of 2018. She is set to meet with NFL investigators today. Additionally, in the NFL, the Chicago Bears earned a huge win against the Denver Broncos on Sunday on a game-winning field goal with only a second left on the clock. The Bears defeated their former defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, to improve to 1-1 on the season. The Bears will take on the Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football next week at 7:15.
Yeah, it's so nice. The Bears actually have a kicker this season.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's a blessing. It's a gift. After what happened last year, it was an amazing win yesterday. I can't believe we won. Go Bears.
Hopefully they improve over the season.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well,
that's it for today's news. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and by visiting our website, charliemedia.press. I'm Louis Chavez.
And I'm Mayette Lloyd.
I'm Ayana Squires with Politics.
And I'm Matt Mohan with Sports.
Have a great night.